This is a second endgame that a beginner should master. What we want to do is cut off the king in a way that makes a smaller rectangle for him to operate in. So our first move would be queen to d7. Now the walls of the rectangle are d1 to d7 and d7 to h7. After the king makes a move like this, we make the rectangle smaller. Now it's d1 to d6, and the wall is d6 to h6. We keep doing this by moving the queen a knight's move away from the king. In other words, if this queen was a knight, it would be placing the black king into check. But it's not a knight, but we just say it's a knight's move away from the king. King moves again. Rectangle is now smaller. He moves again. Now, if the queen is already a nice distance away from the king, at that point you can move your king closer to his. Now, even though the queen is a nice distance away, we can still shorten the area he has to operate in more by putting on a different nice distance away square, and that will be this one. Queen e5. Now we have to be very careful, because if we continue unthinking and just place the queen a nice distance away from the king, this will happen. And this is in fact a draw, because black has been stalemated. He has no legal moves. So what we would do instead in this situation, we would have to calculate that king to f3 leads to mate in 1. Now the black king has one legal move. And now queen h5, checkmate. However, it's so easy to make this mistake. A much safer way to do things instead of king to f3, because you won't have this exact position in a game, you'll have a similar position. The safer way is whenever the king plays to the edge of the board, rather, in this case, he's played all the way to the H file on the edge of the board. And so what the queen should do now is cut him off by playing to the file next to the king. Play to the line next to the king. So this works if we're talking about files which are vertical or ranks which are horizontal. It's the same principle. Now the king moves, and the king comes closer. King moves, and now it's mate in 1. There's two ways to play mate in 1. There's this way, checkmate, and this artistic way, which is a pure mate. Now let's see how this would work in a practical situation. Let's assume that we're in a situation that is completely winning for us. It's easily winning, except we have very little time. We have a minute to make all our moves. And so how will we do this? Easily done with plenty of time left. And that's a standard. When you know an endgame well, you should be able to do it against a very strong opponent with only a minute on your clock. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.